Good morning, everyone. Welcome. The morning show continues. I'm taking over now from Josh and his colleagues after bringing on the BCCI Business Perspective. In the studios with me and on the couch, I have our friends from Galen University, three ladies here. Deanna Peyrefitte, who's the Director, Marketing and Admissions and PR. Kimara Gonzalez, who's the Admissions Officer, and Bryann Griffith, Assistant Office of Student Affairs. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
So I guess we'll be talking about how to get into Galen University, basically.
That's right.
And what that experience would be like. Deanna, let's start with you.
All right. It's always a pleasure to be here in the studios, Ernesto. Galen is here to talk about admissions and orientation for Galen University. So we are accessible, and the admissions process is absolutely easy, and we lend every support necessary. And so that's what we're here to share with all of our viewing audience. We are still in recruitment period and leading up to the new academic year, which starts in September 2024. And so we want our prospective students to know how easy it is to actually apply to Galen University.
Is there a typical student now? When I went many years ago, basically you came from either high school or junior college and went to university. But now I understand there's a lot more scope and acceptance and diverse students.
Yeah, so we have students coming from high school, and interestingly enough, as Belizeans, we have been oriented to think you have to go to junior college and then figure it out. You can absolutely come directly to Galen University out of high school because we're a 4-year university.
Yeah.
You know, and so a junior college is the first 2 years towards your bachelor's.
Right.
And then you need to figure out where you would go for your second 2 years. So you could come to us straight from high school or out after you've done your junior college. And so that brings up the point that Galen University has committed to accepting the credits from all students who come from JCs. And who are taking the same program. So if you're coming from a business admin program into Galen's business admin, from criminal justice into Galen's criminal justice, that type of thing. So there's a 2+2 arrangement that we have with almost all the JCs, and a few are pending, but whether we have signed the MOU or not already, that is a commitment that Galen has made.
What about, I know that Galen offers online courses, you offer specialized training for professionals. Are you also accepting that type of application?
Yes. So you asked what the ideal student looks like. So high schoolers, junior college students, the working populace, all those people who have been in a job for a long time, and now it's time for me to go back to get that degree that will help me to achieve more, right? Or even if it's for my own self achievement, right? So there's those, and we do offer professional development courses as well. So if you're a corporation and you have anything specific you would want us to do, you can reach out to us. But we've also started that outreach as well. So it's professional development for the business world. We are currently executing professional development for the public service. And so we've been working with a lot of the first class clerks and the people who work in HR for the public service. So Galen is into education, be it professional development, be it a bachelor's degree or master's degree programs.
Okay, I have a small company, I have an accountant, maybe he only has a certificate in accounting. I would like him to maybe get a degree or something. Is that possible?
Yes, you could. So Galen really makes education accessible in every sense of the word. So if you have experience and you have certificates in the area that you want to come study, apply and submit those.
Right.
Or deans, we do admissions. Yes. And so as a director, I look at it. Kimara gets them first. I also look at them. Then we approach the deans to look at them, and we consider where we can give credit for people who have experience, who have work, who have certificate training.
And will it be available online?
Online, yes. Almost all our programs.
I guess those would be more online than on campus.
Yeah, you can do almost all the business courses online, or all of them. Fully online. Several of them have internship portions that you would have to then go into a business, a corporation to do those. When you talk about the Faculty of Arts, Science and Technology, some of the programs require field work. So you'd have to, you can do courses online, but you'd have to also have time to do some of the field work courses. And our education programs are all online to cater to our working teachers. So we don't need our teachers to stop working to come to school. We want them to continue with their jobs and come and get their education.
Okay. And Kimara, the admissions come to you first? Is that how it works?
Yes. So from the first phone call, the first email, how do I apply? How do I come to Galen University? I'm the person I'm their first point of contact. And even when they're already enrolled in the university, they're still coming back to me. If they need something, they're reaching out to admissions. But the first thing when they want to apply, how do I apply? One, well, we ask for if it's undergrad and graduate. Now, both undergrad and graduate have different requirements. So if you're applying to one of our associate, because we have 2 associate. So if you're applying to one of the associate or one of the bachelor degree programs, we ask for 7 things within your application package. So the $6 application fee, that's across the board. So whether it's a master's program or a bachelor program associate, you're paying $6 application fee. 60, yes. And so the completed application form, we ask for your social security card. We ask for your transcript. If you're coming from a junior college, you've graduated from a junior college, we're going to ask that you submit your high school diploma and your junior college diploma. If you're coming from a high school, just your high school diploma. And if you're doing one of the master's program, well, we're asking for your bachelor degree, because you have to have, a bachelor degree to do one of the graduate programs.
Of course.
And we ask for the undergrads, we ask for 3 references, but we're not asking for reference letters here. On the form, you could literally just put the contact information of these persons, which would be a community leader, a principal or a vice principal, and a teacher. And if we want to know anything about you, we're going to give them a call. We're going to, find out what we need to find out. For the graduate programs now, they need to submit reference letters. So they have to get the full reference letters. And when it comes to the requirement, the cumulative grade point average that we ask for the graduate programs is 3.0. For the undergrad, 3.0. Yes, you need to be at a 3.0 or higher. And then for the undergrads, it's a 2.5 or higher. Now, if they're not quite at that CGPA, we still encourage them to apply. It doesn't guarantee that they're going to get an acceptance, but if we accept them, they're going to be given a conditional acceptance. So it's like a probationary acceptance.
You have to maintain an average.
Correct. You get that first semester to bring up that average to a 2.5 or higher. And once you do that, you then meet with the admissions director. You meet with the dean of whichever program it is you are in. If you're in a business program, you're going to be meeting with the dean of the business program. And we're going to evaluate, look at it and see, okay, well, this student did well this semester, so now they could, be bumped up and given an unconditional acceptance.
Okay, that's for the more adult students.
No, it's
I mean, a high school student just needs to have graduated from high school, right?
Not necessarily.
You need a point average there as well?
Yes, we do. They do.
From high school?
Yes. So the letter grades, they carry a certain weight as well. So we look at it. I mean, if they're low C's and D's and stuff like that, well, we have to see if, they meet our requirements. And like I said, if they don't, we have student services support that we will talk about. Our writing center. We have tutoring that we would stipulate within their acceptance letter that you'd have to attend tutoring services or attend our writing center so that, we could see how we could help you.
Okay.
Yes.
And then you answer more the questions like, what should I major in, or what is life? You don't get into that.
It's me again.
You again? I thought you were only admissions.
No, well, admissions covers, a lot of that.
We do recruitment, so we don't really advise students on what they should major in, but we tell them what programs we offer. If they want advising, their advisors,
Academic
advisors who are full-time faculty, and our deans. Our deans are accessible, and we think that is a key part of catering to our students, because you're able to speak to the deans who can guide you. And so at all times, deans are accessible. You just need to ask to get an
Because high school students normally, they get in there and they are not sure which direction they want to go. So you do offer, after a while, this is what you look strong in, this is weak. I want to be an accountant, but you'll never make it, you're not smart enough. In my case, So
students often...
I found that, I'm talking many years ago, that was part of the program.
And we also have, you could come in as an undeclared major. So you have like that first semester, you get a taste pretty much of, each of the areas that we offer, and you decide, after that first semester, you have to declare a major then. So if you're not sure what you want to do, you come in and then you take that first semester, and then after that you have to decide.
Because you have the arts, you have science, you
education,
have different areas
exactly.
you can get into.
But we do recognize that high school students come and they don't quite know yet what they want to do, and some of them are still not mature enough because it's a whole different ball game, as we tell high schoolers. Right. When you leave high school, where you're told what classes to take, told what time to come to school, it's scheduled for you, so you just have to appear.
Right.
University is different. You get to decide which classes you're going to. Yes, with advice from your academic advisors, but you can choose. You decide your schedule.
That's right.
It's a no credit system, which most of them are not really familiar with. They're familiar with the whatever is the high school system, where you get A's and B's, and it's told you what to do. It's not really linked to a credit system. And so we recognize that we're planning to do more for the high schoolers to better nurture them and better prepare them in that first year. Not only a semester, but a whole year to prepare them for their next step, so that they can choose an area of concentration that they're ready for. And then the other thing is, while I'm on that, is that you don't have, not because you took business in high school, you have to take business in university. You can come and switch completely. You can do something in the Faculty of Arts, Science and Technology. You can switch to education. You can switch to anything that you feel like, because you're literally starting from the first year of your university, and which is going to prepare you and pace you until you complete all 4 years of your degree program.
But at that time, a high school student, would you help them prepare their curriculum? I mean, after coming from, like you said, they may not understand, but you might say, look, why don't you try a little bit of this and put it in your studies for the first year? So you can. So
we have what are called GUX courses, which all students have to take, and I want to think it's as close as you come to general studies, in the sense that it introduces you to general topics, but it is in a preparatory manner. So you learn how to manage your time, you learn about the environment. So all of the key areas that we teach at Galen is kind of introduced through our GUX classes, which is the Galen core classes that you must take, right? And that really, I find, helps to prep students as well. But there may be students who still need a little bit more time to decide, and that is also, we're open to that as well. You can, and this is why it's so important to have a close relationship and feel welcome to talk to your advisors as well as to your deans, because they will guide you. And, so.
Yeah. Bryann, your job.
So once the student is accepted into Galen University, then Kimara's job is supposed to be done. And then they move over into my area, which is student affairs. And so what we do at student affairs, like you mentioned, we cater to a wide range of learners. So we have the working learners, we have those coming out of JCs, we have those coming straight from high school, sorry. So we cater to those diverse learners during our orientation period. So that's when it gets exciting for student affairs in terms of preparing for these learners to come to Galen University. So we do 2 types of orientation. We do on-site as well as virtual orientation, and this helps students to connect with their academic advisors. They connect to their finance officer, they connect to IT, they get on our online learning platforms, on the registration platform, and so we walk them through all these processes that they will need to know as they further their studies at Galen University. One thing that I believe is unique to Galen from other universities is we do also have a peer mentor program, which is run through the Office of Student Affairs, and that program is what Ms. Deanna spoke about in terms of having students engage with having them engage in the program more for their first semester, sometimes up to a year, depending on their needs, where they have their peers work with them and guide them through different processes for the year. So the registration, accessing certain information when they have questions in relation to that. Sometimes our offices are only a handful of us, so we have student employees who are assigned to the peer mentorship program,
Like
and they offer that level of support to students. They do some of the time management skills. They do so based on their needs. We would assign them to specific mentors. Like for myself, I'm also a student at Galen, and I was recently in the peer mentorship program. As an adult learner, it takes a different focus than the traditional role that it does for the high school students. You more get mentorship in terms of balancing your work and family life and school life, so that time management skill, planning your assignment and stuff like that. It also helps sometimes to direct them to different services. Sometimes the peer mentor might not necessarily have the capacity or be able to help the student with the different issues that they are having, but then they are more knowledgeable of the university's services, and so they can direct them to a different service that the university offers, such as our counseling program, the writing center, the student success program, and things like that. And they make recommendations as well in terms of how to help our students to be successful in their endeavors to complete their studies with us at Galen.
Question for all three of you being at Galen. What should I look for in a university?
I'll say student-centeredness. Academic excellence and student-centeredness. And those are the two areas that Galen proudly is really good at. So we are focused on academic excellence. We are focused on student-centeredness. They go hand in hand. And so I think when you're looking for your university, those should be things that you're looking for. I mean, we really encounter lots of different students, and we realize that different institutions give focus on different things. But every time when student-centeredness is not one of the things they focus on, students start looking for somewhere else to go.
Yes.
And Galen University is committed to student-centeredness.
So kind of like saying student satisfaction.
Student satisfaction, yes.
Satisfy your student. I mean,
Yes.
you're happy to be there, you feel comfortable, and you're also convinced that you're getting a quality education.
But also nurtured. So we're not going to see you not doing well and leave you to struggle.
No.
So what do we have in place to ensure that you will excel? We talk about our eagles soar, and we can say that because we know we do all we can to ensure that our eagles do well. And Bryann is here, and she can talk a little bit more about that the writing center. I mean, COVID happened. A lot of our students missed the fundamentals with writing, even in high school, which is where you set that foundation.
Or even so, they could have been out of school for a while.
Yes,
know,
and you're just coming
back.
back to school, so you need that refresher, and you need assistance, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you're having personal issues, work issues, just time management issues, we have a counselor. We have a student success center. We have a lot of athletes who have to balance playing ball, because they all play ball, right?
Yes.
Playing ball and education and everything else that happens in life. And so they need that extra. And it's not only for them, it's for any student who needs that additional assistance. Right? And we are there, and we are available, and it makes a world of a difference.
When someone's applying for the more adult courses like masters or is extracurricular activity important? The person, let's say wants to do social work, but they don't go out the street, but they don't deal with anyone. It's theoretical. Is it important?
It is
when they're
important.
applying?
So when you're applying for the master's degree programs, the admissions process is the same, but what you're required to submit is a little bit different. And Kimara, I'll allow you to talk about that.
Sorry, yes. So like what I mentioned with the undergrad programs as well, it's the same thing in terms of the application form, the fee, the social, different identifications and stuff. But when it comes to the statement of purpose for the for the undergrad programs, we don't ask for an essay. So you're not submitting, you're not writing and saying that that you need to, this is what you need to do to come to Galen, or you're prepared. For the graduate programs now, you need to submit an essay. For the MBA, for the, need some water.
Yeah.
For the,
for the MBA program, you do need to submit an essay. For the Masters in Social Work and the Masters in Education Leadership.
Yes, it's a statement of purpose. So those two, they ask specifically for what you are supposed to write. The MBA and the MECON, they ask for an essay that you are ready to undertake this master program, but the MSW and the MEDL, they're asking for specific information. So they're asking for one paragraph of this, a half paragraph of this, and you have to write on that specifically. So like for social work, for example, your job experiences, the social work ethics and values, that you understand all of these and stuff like that.
Internships, do you
So
do anything like that?
internships, the MBA program doesn't have an internship because most of our MBA applicants are already working.
Right.
And so that this is really an enhancer. I find if you're working and you come to that MBA, is an absolute cherry on the cake for you, right? For the MSW program, it starts with that program starts you with an internship.
Okay.
And so when for this our first cohort of MSW, which is Master in Social Work, students will come through in the fall of 2023. That's when we started. But their deadline for application is August 19th.
Okay.
When the deadline for everybody else is the end of
Yeah, let's
August.
get into
August.
that. When are deadlines for applications? Are you accepting recruits now? Is that
Yes, definitely.
we are. But just quickly on the MSW program. So their deadline is earlier because they need to identify their internship program ahead of time, because during the course of that program they will be expected to do internship. I have it already identified.
okay?
Yes.
Okay.
So yes, we are accepting applications. Applications is always open at Galen, really and truly.
Yeah.
But now that school is finished, we are pushing, because now more students are beginning to look at what's next. And so application is open. We encourage students to submit their applications by middle, the 15th.
The 16th,
16th of
around
August.
that time, yes.
Yeah, 16th of August. But they can still submit after that.
We do have late acceptances, but we encourage at like the middle of August, because we want them to be a part of orientation. If they come in late, they won't miss. Well, they'll miss it, but Bree will still walk them, through what they need to do. But we want them to be a part of the big crew that's coming in.
Is there a clause though, when even though you can't be late, you have to wait for the next school term?
You mean to apply?
Well, I may be midterm and I say, do I have to wait until the term begins?
You will have to.
There's absolutely a cutoff time to be accepted.
Even the online studies?
Even online studies, because if you've missed a whole month, if you're halfway through the semester, that's 7 weeks.
It's going to be
No,
hard
I
to
hear
catch
that
up.
you could catch up, you could go back and things like that, but
you're
still responsible to a professor.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we find students who start, because we would sometimes push, or we would accept up to like 2 weeks after the job period ends. And once they get into that third week of having missiles, they find some of them are like, they're not catching up.
They can't do it.
So we realize that we do accept up to the first week of after school started, when there's the drop, the add period. Right? And then we selectively, depending on what the situation is, would accept you up to the end of the add period.
A little later, yes.
Yeah, at the drop period. Yeah, so 2 weeks later. But more than that, you're at a disadvantage going into the classes. You've missed by that time at least 4 classes. Right? So
The ranking, Galen,
ranking.
well, ranking internationally, acceptance of your...
So Galen is
the
internationally
program
recognized. We are working on accreditation. We're not there yet, but there's quite a bit of work that needs to be done for accreditation. I mean, in terms of once you're preparing for accreditation, we are internationally recognized. No matter where our students go in this world with a Galen degree, it is recognized. Be it that they're going to further their education or for employment. So there's absolutely no problems with a Galen degree. It is internationally recognized.
What about out-of-country students? You have any of those?
We do have a few out-of-country students. We do have a few students who've moved to Belize because their parents are here for some temporary reason, and they would join Galen. But we do have people who would apply from they're in the States, and they would apply to come to Galen. But so we look at the programs, where they're coming from, and the legitimacy of the application. To see how they're accepted. But we're also pushing study abroad, and so that is where more of the out of country people would come from. We currently have a cohort in country from Canada, and Galen offers a lot of our study abroad programs. It's tied to our faculty of arts. Right? And so they do very interesting cultural experiences and moving into into the real the Mayan villages, the southern areas, the Coyote archaeological sites, and getting a good insight into Belize, but from a cultural perspective.
Okay. All right. Anything we missed out, ladies, before we leave this morning?
We set the deadline.
Yeah,
I wanted to make sure we
had
had that out there.
You want to say more about our student-centeredness? I know we said that we accept people on a conditional basis if you're not quite where you are. And so and we kind of want to emphasize that if Galen is where you want to be, and your cumulative GPA is not a 2.5, and you know you're a good student, and this is applied to us. We, like Kimara said, we look through your stuff. We will assign you the assistance that you need to make sure you level up so that you can actually be a 2.5 or a 3.0. Because we believe that if a student wants it bad enough, they will work for it. And we will be there to support. And so this is why our student-centeredness and the services we offer is so important.
Yes, so like I mentioned, we have the Student Success Program that is catered to more our athletes because they come in on athletic scholarship, and it's difficult for them because they are required to participate in our sports tournaments. So, and some of them, they're not necessarily academically there, but they want to pursue their education. So we have the Student Success Program where they get one-on-one catered catered support. So this semester, for instance, we had a student, one of our athletes, who was issued a warning letter because his GPA was dropping way below where it was supposed to be, and that athlete stayed with the program even after after the program coordinator said, you don't necessarily need to be in the program, you're doing well. He stayed with that program, and he brought his GPA up to almost a 3.0 within one semester. That is remarkable, and that is a testament of the work that we do in terms of being student-centered and having the support necessary for the students. We also have tutoring in different subject areas that we have found to be a little bit more difficult for students to grasp. So we have in sustainable development, in math, and in different areas that we have found that the failure rate is maybe a little bit higher. And so what happens there is the different lecturers may identify, if this student continues on this trajectory without any assistance, they will fail. And so they are referred to our programs. So like Ms. Deanna said, we really do pay attention to our students and their performance. We are not of the culture of, they're at a university. Because some universities have the culture where it's like, you're an adult. You're supposed to figure it out. If you fail, you fail. We'll make money off of you to take this course again next semester type of thing. But not at Galen. We really try to monitor and evaluate our students as they are making their progress throughout their educational career. Maybe it's one particular area that you're definitely a weak spot. We find writing, especially like Ms. Deanna said, with the pandemic, a lot of students come to Galen with some foundation deficit in the area of being strong writers. And at the university level, writing is important. Research is important. So we have the writing center there available to students. You book an appointment and they work with you to develop your writing skills. Sometimes the writing center is providing basic support. Sometimes you have a paper, one particular paper that you're working on, and you're not sure about it. You can book an appointment. Sorry?
I think you got the message over. We're running out of time. But, it's basically, if you want to further your education, no matter what level you are, high school, you have a job experience, the place to go is Galen University.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you very much. It is Deanna Peyrefitte, Kimara Gonzalez, and Bryann Griffith. Thank you for coming in this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Making us highlight education. We'll be back. We should be having some students from from Edward P. York High School. That's right. Should be with us in a few minutes. Thank you very much. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Again.